To call it kudzipa story.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, it has so many names. Like Magito, it's monomas. Not Zipa story. Zipa, a lot.
A lot. So
Sex with someone.
Okay.
So in other words, we are saying you're already committing adultery.
Wow.
So it becomes a sin.
Wow.
According to Christianity.
Okay.
Because you have someone in your mind and you are having sex with her. Have you ever masturbated?
Well, I cannot say this on live TV, but no. Favorite talk show with me, your guy Takunda S Chikomo, as some of you like to call me Mr. Sextep. This is your talk show. Let's talk about sex with Mr. Sextep, where we talk about everything sex related, from sexual health, virginity, masturbation, to everything. Nothing is unmentioned on my talk show. So today on the talk show, I'll be joined by Godfrey Bomba as we'll be talking on the topic of masturbation. I did not say he's a master at it, no, but let's just say we are going to have so much fun as we'll be talking on this interesting debate, this interesting topic, because this is something so sensitive, yet we cannot run away from the fact that it is so common and close to home. So yes, let's go and meet Mr. Godfrey Bomba as we'll be going and talking about the issue of sex and masturbation. I'm your boy, Mr. Annihilate. This is your favorite talk show. Let's talk about sex with me, your guy, Mr. Sextep. Today, I'm joined by a very close friend of mine, Mr. Godfrey Bomba, who is an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. He does panel beating. He does graphic designing. He's also into the business of writing. What else do you do, Mr. Bomba?
A lot.
He does a lot.
Masturbating.
Besides masturbating. Yes. So going into the sensitive issue, masturbation, it is so close to home, but why do you think this sensitive issue, so many of us shy away from talking about it?
All right. First of all, we need to look at the term masturbation.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, what are we referring to?
Okay.
Right? As for me, I would say masturbation, we are referring to self-pleasure.
What kind of self-pleasure?
You know, like when you look at sex, right?
Indeed.
People say that sex is the moving in and out of...
Yes.
Can I say penis?
Yeah, you can. Nothing.
Okay, sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, so now it's manual. You are using your hand. Like the same concept in sex is the same concept in masturbation.
Indeed.
And then we feel the pleasure from it.
And then one feels the pleasure.
Yeah.
In Shona, some like to call it kudzipa story.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, it has so many names. Like Magito, it's monomas. Not zipa story. Zipa, a lot.
A lot. So why is it a lot of us we shy from talking about these sensitive issues, yet it's so close to home?
Okay. First of all, it's personal. Right?
Okay.
It's close to sex. Have you ever seen people having sex in
private, in public?
Yeah, no, they can't. They have it in private. Same with masturbating.
Okay.
It's close to sex. I would say it's half sex.
Wow.
So yeah, people have to personalize and they have to do it in private.
Interesting. Let's now bring it to a religious point of view.
Mm-hmm.
From a religious point of view, masturbation is considered to be unholy. It's considered to be unholy. Yet from a secular point of view, this is self-pleasure. It's okay. Why do you think these differences, they exist?
From a religious point of view, personally, I am an atheist. There's nothing wrong with that. So, can you clarify on that?
Okay, there's nothing wrong on that. So, let's go back now, Munyika. Why is it because I hear some of my people, and then I go to church, and we are taught we shouldn't do this, especially with Sunday school. Why do you think these differences, they exist?
All right. So, biblically, we are told that whoever looketh on a woman and lust over her has committed adultery, right? So when you be masturbating, you're obviously thinking of someone. You won't just be doing this and then you probably are thinking of food. No, you'll be imagining yourself having sex with someone.
Okay.
So in other words, we are saying you are already committing adultery.
Wow.
So it becomes a sin.
Wow.
According to Christianity.
Okay.
Because you have someone in your mind and you are having sex with her.
So this boils down to the point that sex is more a physical manifestation than a mental manifestation than it is physical.
Exactly. Like when you're having sex, right? For you to ejaculate, like that's the peak of sexual pleasure, right?
Indeed.
It has to come into your mind. If you are not thinking about it, if you are not concentrating, you won't enjoy.
I come across a lot of women who say, I masturbate, but I feel ashamed about it. Why do you think this guilty conscience comes? Where do you think it comes from?
Okay, it comes from people, as you've said, that at church you are told not to do that. And again, as I have alluded earlier on, that it's a personal issue. It's a personal thing to masturbate, right? So you'll be thinking what people will say after they found out that you're masturbating.
You're doing that.
Yeah, so that's where the guilty conscience comes from.
Okay. From a scientific point of view, it's actually healthy for both men and women. But why do you think we still are not encouraging it? Because a scientist will tell you that a man will be protected from prostate cancer. And from the ladies, it's also said to release those hormones which help with circulation of blood and what have you.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying why
is it we do not encourage it when from there's scientific evidence which actually proves that it's actually healthy?
All right. So Christianity and science, they don't mix, right?
Wow.
Like I have said that our society today, like we are more of Christians, right?
Indeed.
And we say it's a sin, even though scientists are saying it's healthy. Yeah, but it's a sin. Therefore, we cannot approve it. But it's okay.
Wow.
It's okay to masturbate.
So,
personally, that's what I think.
Oh, interesting. There is what is known as cosmic sexuality or cosmic sex, where we are saying it's a kind of sex which goes beyond the physical body. Do you think masturbation is a form of cosmic sexuality which goes to both within inside an individual?
To be honest, by cosmic,
it's spacious. It goes beyond the body.
Like spiritual.
It's spiritual.
All right. Yeah. So, like I said, when you are masturbating, you are thinking of something else, right? So, Christians believe that the devil is always there around us, and he is always looking for ways to destroy us, right? So if he can actually use that in order to attack you. So probably you'll be thinking that I'm masturbating, I'm on my own, and then they say you'll be having a spiritual wife or a spiritual husband. I don't know. I don't really understand that.
Let me get personal. Do you masturbate?
Not anymore.
Interesting. For those who masturbate, how many times would you recommend a day for one to masturbate, or a week, or a month?
But it's not something that you can recommend. It depends. It's more like sex. Some couples do it twice a day, some once, some, it's different. But with masturbating now, when you are experimenting, when you are starting, right, you can actually do it maybe once a day, twice a day. But when you get used now, suppose you are bored, you can just find somewhere and get yourself. Maybe thrice, or maybe more, as long as you have the stamina. So some way to gain the momentum, and then they go and do it again.
Wow, interesting. So we know there are what are called sex toys. Mostly we find them being used by women. Also men use them. Some call them sex dolls. This is another alternative to the act of self-pleasure. I need to understand, in what ways does this alter one's perspective to actual sex?
All right. Some people say sex is addictive, and some think that it's not. So when someone is using those sex toys, you might actually find it useless to have a partner, right? Then you say, I'm okay with this,
my doll.
With my dolls. And then he or she becomes a lone wolf.
Indeed.
And I don't think it's healthy.
Wow.
It's not. We are ought to be married from a biblical point of view.
Mm-hmm.
We were commanded to get married and then we towanda. So if now that in I'm okay with my sex dose, in other ways,
Wow, interesting. Then getting to one of the last questions, do married people masturbate?
Yes, they do. They do. But it depends.
But I'm married. I have a wife. I have a husband.
Yes, sometimes we find ourselves in arguments with our spouse, and then once in us lumila. And then you always want what if and kasha, right? That way, there's no other way. It's either which I know no masturbator, or you're actually going to find yourself a prostitute.
Wow.
Like most of the time, masturbation it's always available, ready to be used.
So someone would then argue and say masturbation is a manifestation of someone who is a sex addict. Can you try and help us to see the difference between a person who masturbates and a person who is addicted to sex?
A person who's addicted to sex and a person who's addicted to...
Not addicted to masturbation. Is there even a difference between the two?
There's no difference. Because masturbating and sex, they lead to one thing. Like
which is?
Pleasure.
Okay.
Pleasure. So we are two people in different roads, but we are heading the same direction. We want to reach the same destination.
Wow.
So I don't see any difference there.
Mr. Bomba, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you. You are such a fun character. You're such an interesting guest. Even our viewers, they will agree to us that you are such a fun person to host. Any final words that you would like to say to people who might be listening, probably a young adult who might have questions with regards to their sexual health, with regards to their sexual health, anything that you would like to speak and say to them?
First of all, before I talk to them, I have a question for you. Have you ever masturbated?
Well, I cannot say this on live TV. but no, I will be honest with you. Masturbation is nothing that is uncommon to me.
Okay. Thank you. Wow. It's nothing. Wow. Okay, thank you so much.
So, back to my question.
All right. To our viewers, I would say that masturbate if you feel like it. Because if you don't do that, you find yourselves in a situation whereby you want to do more than that. And according to science, it says that, do you know, have you ever heard of, they call it the blue ball?
Blue balls.
Yeah, blue balls. Yeah. You need to release the pressure. Okay. You need to feel good. And again, it serves you from...
But is that not the case where wet dreams come?
I'm more of an artist than a scientist.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's okay. Someone will say, I am not masturbating because I understand that it alters my virginity as a person or as a lady. What's your take on that issue?
It alters their virginity as a person. Yeah, if they are not doing that, it's fine. It's okay. So it's not a must to masturbate.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you are masturbating, it's okay. We are different people and we do things different, right? So we have advantages of masturbating, we have disadvantages of masturbating. Right? So as a person, if you can make sure that you can't masturbate, or if you find yourself in a situation whereby you want to masturbate, then you should do it.
Wow, interesting. Ladies and gentlemen,
masturbating is better than having sex, actually. Because if you masturbate, you are saving yourself from diseases, you won't contract any STIs, and then you won't have that. Some people are afraid of, attachment. Yeah, so if you find pleasure in yourself and then you're okay, then wow, you should do it.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, Ugamalami Takunda chikomo, Mr. Sexstep, and this is the talk show where we talk about everything and anything. And today I was joined by a very wonderful guest, Mr. Godfrey Bomba, as we were talking on the issue of masturbation. If you have any comments that you would like to share, please make sure to leave comments down below on the comment section. If you have anything, and also please make sure to subscribe and like on our channel for more great content. As I always say, always remember to count your blessings and remember to annihilate the status quo. Until we meet again next week, ciao.
Tadzoka panhau yedu yekudzipa story iya chatiri kumbotaura nezva Ngom, can you please introduce yourself to my viewers?
Alright, ini ndonzi 9mm.
9mm. Mungozwa easy rebasa iro boys. Are you ready for my fireworks? All right, it's so about kudzipa mposto. Chicha munganzwisa about kudzipa mposto.
I don't believe about the Bumper story. Do you actually masturbation? Masturbation, I think it's a process known as any guy adolescents process and masturbation maybe very safe and stuff wise since it's considered kashoma kunzwa kuti munhu azowana makambonzwa ero kuti munhu azowana kana siki kubva kumasturbation but some process it all depends
ko vamwe vanozobva vazoti tik nayo vaita demba refu.
And I don't believe it's something you should be because sometimes it happens because it's not really addictive one. So the more you get adapted by it, you're not going to addiction by it. But I think it's a process you go to during teenage. You go through that process, but by the time you go to you have to let it go and so on.
Ndabva ndanzwa message yabva kuna Mr. Tax vari kustudios kanzi ibva wabata nawo yemapornography ipapo ungandisananguro here pamwana.
Yeah, mapornography ndo zvimwe zvinhu zvinonyanya kukonzera kuti magetways ave addicted. Kana kuti magetways any youth or ari muteenage in the process. But pornography is not a good thing to watch. It's not a good thing because ndo zvinhu zvinokonzera kuti uzove addicted to fornication and stuff like that. Ndo zvinhu zvinonyanya kukonzera kuti addictive to masturbation.
Okay. Tomboti pa social media tonyanya noti pornography ndo one of the most influential zvinhu zvinonyanya onekwa stereki nevanhu vakawanda. Vanhu vanonyanya kutera chipo mapornography.
Yeah, it's nature on. Chinhu chinonzi sex chinhu chiri natural chakacreatwa naMwari. Saka is something chekuti once you wangotanga kuexperience that thing unogona kuita at time kuti uchisiye mostly kuna vanhu vanongasina zvekuita zvavana vasingaende kumabasa and stuff like that. Vanhu vanongasina zvinhu zvinovabaya they can be addicted because chinhu chekuti even ukaloga in into a website ndona social media panogona kunge tuma pop-ups ndona internet yakazarikwa anongokandira ka-pop-up keporn let's say you on Facebook, you on YouTube and stuff, you can experience zvakaita saizvo. But as for me zvangu I don't think it is something people should stick to.
Kudzipa mposto. Amene mwakamuzone zvayo.
Yeah, toiziva.
Right, chimbotana ngureva about kudzipa mposto.
Yeah, kudzipa mposto magetoets anenge ari panza.
Alright.
Anenge ari panza.
Saka chichinonyazoitika pakudzipa mposto rava. Unoti paka brief information.
Nyaya ndekuti pamwe chimoko chinonge chisipo. Kana kuti wangorohwa nefeeling kana foni utanga kuonana muri utanga kutodzipa mposto. Kana kuti unoona utongodzipa pasina kana foni.
Right. Anzi mposto anodzipa kana pasina foni. Ora iri mboma nyakuti bringisa kuti izvi zvakaanoti it's the half job done. Kana kuti nyazotoudze kuti zvinhu zvinonyatsofamba kana kuti kungotakasambwa.
Zvingoe zvinofamba but munhu cheche anenge achitodiwa. Ati pane vasina zvekuita.
Right. Vazhinji vangati kutenda